which is a partner community. Now I want to launch a customer community because at the end of the day, it will help us with what we're doing. So we'll go to all sites and click on new. This is where you create your new community. Don't forget to have a limit of 100. We only created one. Now I'm going to the second one. Then we'll select our template. What we want to do today, it's either we're using help center or customer service, but let me just go with the customer service. Get started, name, experience demo customer. Okay, so let that run and we'll start our class for today. Oh, it's already 5 minutes. So while that is running in the background, we can start. So today's topics for today is topics and knowledge article. Don't forget what we discussed last time. Like, please feel free to pull me back or interject. Just maybe raise your hand, and when I take a look, I should see that and call you so that we can have kind of feedback here. So we'll be hopefully looking at topics and knowledge articles, user login requirements, email capability. Then we'll look into experience builder today, the branding, audiences, the navigation setup and pages, and also components. So sorry, don't mind me. I'm a bit slow today. It's been a busy weekend. I was not feeling too well. I'm booting slowly, but we'll get by. I hope I will just get in the grind. All right. So we'll start with topics. So we'll start like what we said last time. We'll look into the slides, then we'll go to the org and see how that works. So topics. So managed in content management in experience workspace, because it's important. I think some exam questions even ask that where would you see that? Well, that's why we keep pointing them out, because going to the experience cloud can be confusing from here to there. That's why I took time the first day to explain different areas, the back end, the front ends, where you can do stuff. Example, managing topics in community. It is done in the content management, where you can go to topic tab, article management, so you can manage your articles. Then you go to automatic topic assignment, and article management will not be available if knowledge user license is not assigned. So it's very important to set up knowledge in order for you to use articles. So for you to have people seeing your articles at your community, on your community, you need to set up knowledge and you need to have licenses, and these are like add-on licenses from Salesforce. You have to pay for it. So you can configure navigation and feature topics and manually assign certain articles to certain topics in article management. So article management is where you will now manage your articles and assign them to navigations and assign them to topics. Then you can assign certain data categories to topics in automatic topic assignments. That also you can do, just lesson task. It allows you not to be doing this yourself. So you make it automatic, can assign articles to certain data categories. So there's something called data categories in Salesforce. So it's managed instead of, hold on, sorry, 1 second. So these data categories are what we do when we set up our knowledge. So you assign data categories and assign them to articles. Then you check visibility checkboxes. These are important. We'll get there. I just want us to just go through this. Then the next is an important drawing for me. I had to replicate it here. And this is what I had to put in my head, both for the exam and both for understanding the whole relationship of of data categories in Salesforce and then topic in community. So this is Salesforce. Just see this SFDC, salesforce.com. And we have knowledge articles. And when we build knowledge, when we activate knowledge articles, we create data categories. So, but then when you come to community, they call it topic. Actually, that topic is equal to data category. One more thing before that. This is when you really have a structured Salesforce with knowledge setup, data category setup. Actually, see if you can actually don't bother about it. You can go to your community and actually just set it up like that, but to be not ordered. But for it to be ordered, which is the right way to go about it, you activate everything in Salesforce, create your data categories, assign your articles to data categories. Then you can do the mapping. And that mapping can be automatic, it can be manual. With this mapping, we are assigning data categories to topics. So it's the same thing. So, but in community, so now you see now the community person sees the topics, he sees these data categories as topics and seeing the articles assigned to this topic. It's just the same thing, but a different way we are seeing it on the community side. So for me, this was a drawing I always had in my head that allowed me to understand the flow of information from our Salesforce backend to the community. Then definitely I took up a official document that explained it in different ways or the right ways, better ways from Salesforce. Example, this one is for public knowledge base. So it's this is for when we want people without license to actually have access to our knowledge base. So that's why we require knowledge, and then it could be a self-service site, just like a help service that I didn't use, but I use customer service, also a customer service. So people can always come into your website, ask questions, see articles, and solve issues for themselves. So this part of this community cloud is geared towards service cloud. It's for part of efficiency, managing your customers in the best way, giving them access to solve their issues, having chats even on your community. So like making sure when your customer needs support, definitely they can get to you. Just like you go to major website like Amazon and the rest, you see talk to us, or you can chat somebody up, or you can solve questions yourself like FAQs. So this is what it is, just what we are doing here. So with our Salesforce community, we can build such public knowledge article and show it off to our community, so then they can use it and solve their problems. And with that reduces time that will require for agents to spend talking to people when people can solve their problems by themselves. That's just one of the examples or reasons. So prepare for your help center. There are a few actions to take before you create your help. So these are the actions you can take before you create your help. I actually put this here because this is an important number. It could be in the exam. So like trying to understand how many articles one can have, because this exam has so many number questions. So at times you have 2 or 3 or 1, but at least whatever comes, you know it's an easy question to answer. And if you don't know it, you're like, oh my God, I've forgotten this number, and that's it. You missed that one. Except you might guess, and then you might be a stab in the dark. You might be lucky and get it. So you have to enable Salesforce knowledge in your org, which we're going to do now. Plan your knowledge base and set up visibility for your data categories, which I'll show you. List the topics you intend to cover in your help center. This is for you planning what you want to do for your help center. Set up an article layout specifically for your help center. So that's just that. Then this is other use case for our public knowledge. We have web to lead use case. We have where you can actually put your web to lead there and then use it and get leads. You have recruitment, so you can use and extend information for people wanting to, or to even apply for jobs. Just like most jobs we apply for, it's people might paste it on their website and then you apply, your information goes to the system. You can do that. Or product registration. This will be mostly for either you buy a new item, you go to the website and register, or flow. Most importantly, this flow will actually show you, maybe if you log in, you see like terms and conditions. It's all done with flow. I think we'll get to show that today. Okay, so let's go to so my site is created and ready. And if you go down now, you can see we have two sites here. You can actually move from here to here. So we're on customer. You can click on partner and switch over to partner. This is obviously the same stuff, except that we're in different templates. Let me open builder because we'll be okay, not that way. I'll close this now. Builder. Let me go to my backend, Salesforce setup. So what I want us to do now is to set up knowledge. Who knows how to set up knowledge in Salesforce? Anybody wants to answer that? What should I do? Did any of you do Service Cloud? This is anyone that did Service Cloud should know this, or anyone that has done some trades should know that. You can type your answer if you don't want to talk. Okay, yes, there are knows. Oh, don't worry, no, let me keep moving because so we can meet up. So we'll go to service setup. That's where you can set up knowledge. You can set up a lot of service related stuff in this place. Knowledge setup. So I click start. I'm the only person here. I don't want to waste my time. Let me just use myself as administrator. But if you have users you want to assign, you can assign them the license. I only have 2 licenses here in this org, but I only have myself as the only user here. Next. So it's setting up. So now at this point, you can actually start creating your data category group and data category that if you know it. I do know, I talked about it in the weekend just a little bit regarding this course, but normally you don't do it here. You want to do it at the back end. I should have even showed, I don't know if it, but had even I showed you before I created this data category is not existing yet in our back end until you set up knowledge. That's when it activates. So click on next and finish. So now we have set up knowledge. I think now if we type knowledge, now knowledge is coming up with all this knowledge related stuff. Before we didn't have this. Another thing is you need to go to object management. Now we can have knowledge object is now up. Let me check record type. We'll have only one record type that comes default, FAQ. Normally, we should even create more record types if maybe you have different thing you want to show to different people based on maybe different page, what's it called again? Different fields. That's when you use a record type. So I'm checking this one real quick, and what is here is okay. We're just showing demo on what we can do in this. Not that we're gonna be building much on knowledge. So that's not the focus of the lecture. Just to give us what we need for exams. So you set up knowledge, and you can do whatever you need to do as an object with this. Then let's go back to the backend. Let's go back to home. Type data categories. So we'll go to data category setup. So now group name. So like this is like the general name you want to give to your data category. And I decided that we'll have, I downloaded 2 pictures. I decided we'll have FAQ for questions. I said we'll have, but that will be like article, the topic. The topic will be FAQ. Topic will also be service and I think tech. But then so let me just put them under one general group. Let me call it information. Information. Put explanation, then save. It's saved. Now I have to start adding categories under it. Now it is inactive. So the first one I want to add is FAQ, add, and I want to add, as I said, service, add, and I want to add tech. add. So that is it. So under information, we have these three data categories, and we have to activate it. Save. So this guy is saved and is activated. So under our data category groups, which we could have many groups, but I only have one group information, we have these data categories under it. Then we go down to default data category visibility. This is very important because with this, now visibility, no one can see this our data category. So we need to edit it and make sure we assign it visibility. So we want there to be visibility on all categories. You can also do custom. That means you start choosing, example, I want this or that to see, and you choose this. What's happening? Why is this not highlighting? Let's find all. Okay, because it's on all, none, custom. Oh, okay, it's selected on all. Selected on all. It's on all. That's why if you remove it, you can now move this like you want one. But I want it to be on all, so no need for that. Move all, add. So I want it to be visible, all categories. Save. One more thing too, if like we're also exposing this to our external users, you would have to actually go to their profile. So now we have this is our community. We need to go to their profile. Is here builder settings. You go to the guest profile and give them access to that. If not, they wouldn't be able to see that. But so you did the way you have the way we have our profile. That's where so you go to visibility, check to so you see now they can't see this if we are wanting to see. So you have to give them access to see that all categories. But if you don't want all your guest users to have access, you have to now be careful and choose and make sure you give them the right access. Control F, knowledge, your assignment, knowledge layout. Okay, so this is not important. Let me just go back to the class. So we've enabled knowledge. Okay, one important thing to do when you enable knowledge I wanted to show in the front at the community, you will then have to enable topics for objects. So you type topics for objects. Look for knowledge. You have to enable topics. Enable I think there are some things you need to enable here. And most of them enable definitely text and title. And I think answer your name, maybe question, doesn't matter, just depend on what you need. So you save that. Now the major thing, which is now setting up this article. So you come to your experience. As it says earlier, it is done in workspace where content management. So you go to content, you start to go to topics. So am I experience demo customer topics? Let me refresh this. It seems to be a bit old. Yes, because once you enable topic, it fools. This thing comes up here. So now we'll go to top. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Well, we are doing practice. So let's create, since we enabled all this, let's create an article. So now we can go to article. No, knowledge, sorry. On the front end inside Salesforce, you go to knowledge. Let's create a new article. call it title. So this new article is all for FAQ. Call it FAQ. Edit. How to reach you. I'm just giving an example, trying to move ahead. So save. Okay, now one very important thing. Now this article comes with properties visible to internal app. If I save this article will only be visible to an internal app. But I want this article to also be visible to customers, visible to partners, also visible in public knowledge base, which means anybody without license can also see this article. So I'll save it. And you must publish an article for it to be seen. Now this article has version 0. Once you publish this article, it becomes version 1. And it also where we right now is on draft. It's called draft. Until you publish it, then it will remain on draft. I can also assign this article to categories which I've already created. So you click on edit and no active data categories. Why search categories. Or let me see something. Publish. I think if I publish it, it won't be there again. I won't assign. I can't assign after publishing. Yes. So let me edit it as draft. Edit as draft. Edit as draft. You can put action. We show action value for current setup. Um. So it's published. I don't want to archive it. I can't do anything on it. So let me show something. FAQ not validated. I can only archive. Why? Well, let me create another one. And anyways, let me make sure my data categories are even okay. So data categories setup. Yes, I have this active. Oh, it's not active. I thought I activated this. Yeah, none is active. So that's why. So it's active. I'm gonna refresh this. Service. Let me save. No question. Just normally, as I say, you should have your own ways of doing this. Like you have created different page layout that has to do with service. I don't want to put that in. I'm just using one record type. So I'm using FAQ record type, but I'm just creating different articles so that we can see how it works, just to show it in the front end. So when you get to the back end, you can do how you want, use your record type, use your page layout, arrange it, put things the way you want it. So now my data category is showing up. So you can actually assign this service article to every data category here, or you can assign it specifically to service. But I think I'll assign it to everywhere here, even though it's specific to service. But let it be related to FAQ, because someone can ask questions on FAQ that has to do with service is service, or tech with service. So whatever it is, so we assign it, and then we publish. Then create a new one again. Let me call it tech. and save. It's an empty write-up, no problems. And assign it to tech, only tech, and save. So now the issue I'm having is with this FAQ. We have already published it, but should always be able to. I don't know why it's giving me only archive. Why am I not able to? Because I've already clicked that edit as draft before. But if I archive it, you can't republish and archive this thing again. I think so. So let me look at here and see what I'm supposed to do. Where's my tech? Oh, where's all published articles are two? Did I not publish tech? Okay, I haven't published tech. So publish. Then go back to FAQ. Okay, let me just archive and see what. We couldn't archive that because there is an associated draft. Oh, okay. I know why now. Let's go to draft. Oh, it's on draft. That's why it's on draft. Now we can edit. So this is draft copy of it. Now we can edit it and assign it to FAQ. Well, luckily, all of us here in Salesforce, this is how it is. You go around, do your team, but as long as you know where you're going or what you're doing, it should work. So now we have our FAQ assigned to FAQ category. And then we also have our, let me just go here so we can see everything. Look at, FAQ, and let's republish again. Publish, since we have just, so now you see it's version 2. I'll publish this in twice. Each time you make a change, it increases. But I don't want to dwell on that because, as I said, this is for Service Cloud. But if we go to our articles now, we can see published articles. We have 3 of them. I assign FAQ to just FAQ data category. I assign service to all the data categories. So this is like assume, this is my article. So all these articles are related to a data category. FAQ to FAQ data category. Service relates to all of them. I assign all these data categories to service, and tech just only to tech. So you can even make it to 2 or 1. So it's one, if it's one to many, one on one or one to many, however I want to do it. So now let's go back to our content management. I have to refresh this again. So go to topics, click on new, call it, so you start from top. Normally that's how I always do, because it was confusing when I started this. So when you start from top and then you walk down, so new. So you can actually you can merge topics, you can create new topics, you can merge topics, and then you can also enable it for content. So these are the ways you use uh, these topics, or what you can do with topics at the front end. So you create new. Let's create FAQ, enable for content, and save. Then I can also edit this. Let me see. Where do I get to add okay. Then let's create a new one. Well, let me wait a bit because I don't know if I need to create this or if it will be automatic. So we'll go to feature. For example, if you come to our builder and go to preview, we have something called home topic. This is our navigation menu. We'll treat this today. We have this component here. This is what shows you the featured topics if you have them. So it is here. You see the one that's the featured topics and home. I think we discussed all that featured. Did we discuss all that already? That's our category. So we discussed topics. Okay. And yes, article management. We discussed the checkbox, the visibility, which we've done. And I showed you this, very important. So how we created our articles and mapped them to data categories. Now we're going to map those articles we created to topics. It's the same thing, but we'll call it topic instead of data category. So that's what we're trying to do here. Then I showed you this, and this. All right. Then quickly, let's go back to let's check navigation topics. So when it comes to navigation topics, this is important. It tells you, and there's an exam question here, you can create up to 25 navigation topics and up to 10 subtopics for each topic. And each subtopic can have 10 subtopics. You can create a further 5 levels. So there's 5 levels of creation you can do, but it's like you can create the first one. The important is 25 navigation topics and 10 subtopics. So it's 25, 10, 10. That's what I told myself before I went to the exam hall. 25, 10, 10, 5. Then the maximum of 2775. The might don't ask that, but the one I've seen was like, I think, how many navigation topics can you create? So it's 25, 10, 10. It's written here. So show subtopics. We don't have any subtopics. Let me see. Enter navigation topic, FAQ. Are you gonna come up? Add. Then service. Add. And tech. Add. So now we've created navigation topic. Okay, then we'll go to article to feature topics. So this is where now we would assign, if you come to the builder here, that navigation topics I created is here, it's going to show on navigation. It will show here, while feature topic will show here. So we'll go back to the backend, go to feature topic, we'll select FAQ, we'll add FAQ, we'll select service. Okay, so that's what I was looking to see. Thank God I found that. So I need to create those topics, of course. So I only have FAQ, that's what it's showing. So create new and go to service, enable for content, and save. And create another one, call it tech. I was still correct. I don't know why I was second doubting myself. Like, you start from top. You after doing this, you do this, and with that, I wouldn't need with that. Then you can create your topics. Hold on 1 second. Let me refresh this.
The one you created earlier is not relevant here, right?
It's not what?
It's not relevant here. The ones you created earlier.
You mean the topics?
FAQ service, yes, those.
It is relevant. You see it. It comes into play.
Okay.
They are all relevant because that's where it means I've created that article. Back to this diagram. I created this article. That's the article I created. Assign them to these categories, which is tech, FAQ, and this. Unfortunately, I called. It's not unfortunate though, but I should have given it a name, like a longer name, how to something, or this, like, but I'm assigning it almost the same name as the data category. It is this same article because there's no way else I'm creating my article. My article will have to be created in knowledge in Salesforce. So that same article is what I will now have to show here. So I'm still showing the same article here, but as what? As topics.
Okay.
That's what we're trying now to do. We've created the article in Salesforce. Now we want to show them in community as topics. So navigation topics, so go to FAQ. Why are you not coming up? Oh. Navigation topic. For some reason, I published. Let me see article management. Okay. So in article management, the articles these are the articles. So you see, these are the articles we created. FAQ, tech, and survey. It is showing. But we haven't assigned all articles are showing. So can actually just show articles without topics. This is why this one should not. I just want to see all articles. Then data category group. information. This is the data category group that I only have one that I created called information. So I don't even need to like, so what this thing is doing is just showing me all the data category group that I created, which has all this data category inside it. So if I select one, which is service, it will have all of them. It shouldn't, I mean, is that FAQ? FAQ has FAQ, service, no article, tech has tech. So service was not assigned. Didn't I assign service? Go to service, was assigned the information. I think service was assigned to everybody, definitely, right? So what will happen here is we can assign article. This is where you manage article. You assign the articles now to the topics. So if we select tech now, this is in our community. We now want only tech to see this or to be assigned to this. So it will come up tech. So tech will be assigned to this. So I will save. So tech now is assigned to tech. Then if we select, let me just select, go to all articles and make this all, leave this as information. If we go to FAQ, we want this to be assigned to only FAQ and save. If we go to service, we want service to have all, FAQ, service, and tech, and then save. Yeah, now this is up. So now for navigation topic, we want FAQ to be there, we'll add it. We want service to be there, we'll add it. We want tech to be there, we'll add it. Then if you go to the pencil, you can also put a picture on it, which I want to do. Okay, I downloaded something. So for FAQ, I want to upload, where did I put this training? So I put this for FAQ, so Q&A, let's put Q&A. Then hope it stays. Okay. For service, we'll put this for service. For tech, we'll put this for tech. Then we'll save. Now we can go to topic management. You can see that this content, this FAQ is enabled for featured, and featured, but not, my navigation topic is not enabled yet. So I need to add navigation topic. So why are you not coming? Let me see FAQ. FAQ, nothing. FAQ. Add. Thought it was supposed to be, sorry about this, but anyways, our thought if I type it, it's supposed to come out. For some reason, it's not coming out. Is it that it's been? I think my internet is wobbling. Service. Save. Why are you not showing up? Okay, FAQ has entered. Oh, let me leave it at FAQ, no problems. Then it's saved. And let me go to the front and refresh this front. So do you see how it works? Preview. I'm not even looking if anybody asks any question or anything. I hope nobody's raised hand or anything. Okay. So I'm going to preview to see my work. So we go to topics. So I was only able to add that FAQ. Normally, this is navigation, we should be able to like go to this navigation and add your navigation topic. For some reason, my topics are not showing. Let me see, tech, or we'll take work, save. Okay, add. Okay. And service. See, I'm just missing small things. That's after I didn't add, I'll just put in then save. Then because if I go to my topic, you see, now if I go to my topic management, I can see that FAQ, service, and tech are all enabled for content, enabled to be used as featured, navigation, and navigation. Also, don't forget in my article management, FAQ article was assigned to only FAQ group. Tech was only assigned to tech group, while service was assigned to all of them. So what that means is if I refresh this now this is only showing one, it will show three. If I refresh this, and go to preview, you see, it's showing FAQ, tech, and service. If I click on any of them, it will take me to their FAQ, will take me to the FAQ with only FAQ article that has that how to call or something. That's what it should have. So this will take me to FAQ article. I think my internet is slow or something. You can go to article. You see that thing I said I have. So FAQ. Don't forget service. I assign service article to everywhere. So anytime you go to FAQ, you see service. If I go to, I think it's only when I go to service, that's when I see only service. But if I go to FAQ, I'll see service. If I go to tech, I also see service. So service is only, so that's what I was trying to, that assignment I was trying to show. So article service is only in service, but it's empty. I didn't do anything there, if you can remember. It's empty. I didn't put any title, I didn't put any name, I didn't do anything. I just simply I didn't even tick all this. So this will not even be, it will only be visible for you. I'm seeing it because I'm the administrator. That's why I'm seeing this. So if I go back to home, you can also move around these articles from here. So where this is featured articles, so something that is featured that's very important, people can easily access it and click from here. So that's I think that's it about topic, article assignments, data categories, knowledge, and it's very big deal, but this is what can help people to come in, read, and this is how you do it. So by navigation or by featured, and you work all that in content management. Is there any question as regards to this while we're still here? None for now. Okay, let's move on then.
Hold on, the pictures were added under the featured contents, right? The featured topics. Is that what you added? Okay.
Yes. And there's important information here. Featured topics are displayed prominently on your site's homepage. You can have a maximum of 25 also. So you can have 25 featured topics. So that page will have pictures that I was uploading. You can have 25 of this. Okay. So back to our slides. User login requirements. So this is enabled in Workspace Administration. Choose registration page. Users can be created as personal account or contact in a business account. Fields for configurable user self-registration validations are last name, first name, username, nickname, mobile or email. I just added this evening. It's not just that simple. This is for when you're doing the coding part of it, but let's just keep moving. Because we've discussed this in the last lecture, so I'm just treating it in a fuller sense, but it's not just only the self own that we did. There is more to it, so I'm just looking at it quickly. The users are assigned to a profile and an account. We discussed all this last time. No need to specify an account if it is a personal account. We've seen all that. Then self-registration, this is what we looked at last time, looking at where you can click on it. All this comes up. Then you can select, and then of course select a profile for the user and select an account. It must be a business account belonging, so that when their contact comes in, it saves into this. So manually create users, allow external users to create other users, self-registration, create user based on a business process or single sign-on. Then social login. So users use third-party service to verify their ID. Salesforce supports auth providers using OAuth, OpenID Connect like Facebook, Google, Amazon, LinkedIn, etc. This is set up in Salesforce auth providers. The social login component must be added onto the login page in the community. So quickly, I won't be doing this. I'll just show you how to go about it too. So you can go to auth providers, which I'm sure any of you might have done or seen, and you go to new. So this is where you're able to like choose. These are all supported in Salesforce. So I think if you are paid, it could be one or two that is more. But for this is our sandbox. So all these are supported. And mostly, I think I've done Google before. I've done Facebook and Google definitely. I've done that, but it was a while ago. So that's why I'm not going to be done. Just to show this. So when you activate this, example, Google, you need to write anything. Let me see, because this one they provided the authorized endpoint and the endpoint. Let me see if whatever will work. Okay. So then you save. I don't know. I think there are some things you need to do at the back or something, but if it works, it works. So when you save this, then you can go to what did the question, what did my slide say? Social login. Well, I know you need to also now go to this place, go to workspace, administration, and then login and registration. It should come up somewhere too, like where you to log on the 4 page. Okay, let me even do something. Let me back to builder. Let me publish this so it could show us pages. We've never done any publishing since. So whenever you want you save your changes, you need to publish. If not, your page, your changes can go. You need to publish. When you do something and you want it saved, you publish. That's what this key is for. And you can also preview what you're doing to see what it looks like. Then you publish. Then, but after publishing doesn't mean it will go to be available. For it to be available, you need to do the main activate your community or make it public. Right now, this page is definitely not public. You can go and see home page setting. See, it requires login. Unless I make this page public and publish, then we can log in if we have the URL of this page. Let me check something real quick too from here. From here, go to my experience demo customer which you published. Okay, so now we can see it from our org because we published it. So now we can go there now and walk around. But the good thing about this is that it has now opened up for us pages. Let me refresh this. If you look now, these places are showing the 4th page, the 4th page, the 4th page. Once I refresh this, you will see the magic. You see? So now because it's now published, we have access to, it's showing us the login page. It is, the Google which I put is now showing. So I can click on Google as part of a social sign-on that we can use and sign in. Now, experience builder for forgot password can be this. So if you want to disallow partners to register, we didn't do this yesterday. I didn't go about doing that. But if we want this to happen, we want people to actually register, a page is for them. So if we go to this place and click on pages and type register, there's a registration page. So this registration page is where people will come in and register. There's a component here. It's not enough. So I can now, because I've now activated Google for our social sign-on, I have to come and choose the component called is this social sign-on component? Yeah, social login. Take it and drop it here. Why are you not okay? Okay, social login. So it's here. Show header. So I have social sign-on, but do I need to choose? Let me see. Then also this component, I can also this guy only has first name, last name, and email. If you want to increase this example in my org, I want to collect not just first name, last name, and email. I want to collect uh, address or whatever it is, like something or not that. So where that happens is at the back end here too. We'll go to our user object, go to user. You see the first called field sets. Create field set new. Call it new user. Where is this used? Save. So now we can drop what fields we want to collect. So example, we might ask the person to put in their, I think we already have email. We have email, last name, and first name. We might say we want email, first name, and last name. What do we want? Just one or two things to add. Add title. A list of fields available for job and job. Title. Maybe username. Save. So this new user is what you need to copy the name and put in your field set. Let me see. Publish and see what happens here. Got it. Preview. Active builder. They're not giving me what I want. You want the social sign-on is here. New user. Include password field. I don't want to include password. This is for if you are doing coding. Anyways, what I was trying to show is the fact that you can add. Oh, this is 2 here. Remove that one. I feel that Google thing was not completely done because I don't even have the icon. I'm supposed to like have the Google icon and everything. Or wait, is it because I haven't even finished from here and saved it? Yeah. So I'm supposed to. I've not even finished. I've not saved it, so it won't even work. So I'm supposed to. As I selected Google here, I'm supposed to. I didn't create. I didn't put a profile. I haven't even added members here. So this is a new thing. There's lots ongoing. So I need to add members, assign a profile, create an account and assign it, then save. So right now, if it works, it won't be assigned to anybody. So now if we go and let me refresh and see what happens. And then go to register. Okay, yeah. So Google is showing now a social sign-on. And something is wrong. Well, let me just ignore this for now and remove it. It's not important. So this is now meaning that when users want to log in, and this is for when they want to do self-registration, which is activated, this is what they would see. They will put in their name and then sign up, and they can also log in with Google. So this thing I did actually worked. And then if you go to, there's a page called login page 2. So when you click that, not a member, you can also change it to something, maybe new user. You can always write anything you want. New user, it will be there. So when you use this, like not, you see it has changed. So when you create this new user, that's when it takes you to that login page that I was just showing you guys. So this is our login page for both our partners or internal users. All right, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I missed with this explanation. Should register page and login page. Should login registration select it and login okay. All right, so back to our, I think I've shown all that. Back to our slide, social login. I've shown you where you can add whether LinkedIn, Apple, Google, or anyone you want. I've shown you how to add a component on the page. And then because that page now shows on the login page. So anybody that needs to log in as a new person, but don't forget what you need to do first of all to make this work well, which is make sure that user is, let me close this, make sure that user is created and assigned a profile and that. But let me take this off now because it's not important. But it's just for you to know all the things you can do in the community as an admin or as a consultant or as an architect in order for you to give advice. So the next we're gonna do is back to slide is passwordless login. So this is used in Lightning, Taos, Visual Force, communities, login page, Apex, Visual Force. This boosts users' login experience, user configurable self-registration. So remember that I mentioned this use configurable self-registration somewhere, I think somewhere up here, yeah. So this is actually for when you for coding for custom. So if we also go back to the backend, in this login and registration, you can actually select login page type. Right now, we're using the Salesforce out of the box functionality, which is a login page. But however, you can use login discovery page or Visual Force page, and all these are coding. So it's not within my reach. Any of you that is a developer, you are welcome to explore more on this. Then when you select any of them, for example, login discovery page, you see it opens up more things for you. Login handler, you can create a login handler, you can execute or anything, or Visual Force page, then you can create your Visual Force page and add that. Let me untick this. Then next is this for here, yeah. So when you also want people to log in by themselves, right now we're using that register out of the box functionality. That's what I was able to show you guys. But actually, you can also select configurable self page. You see that now I was talking about. But when you select this, there will be a user identification, or should I say authentication. So you select as many things as you want, or one thing just to allow the user to authenticate, but the lesser the better. So maybe phone number or email. If you just go to the website, you only see email. Put your email, it sends you a code. That's the code you use and log in. Or you put your email, it authenticates. Or you put your mobile phone number, it sends you a token or a number on your phone. That's the code you use and log in. Salesforce does that. We have it in my office though, but or use a nickname, whatever it is they choose for your authentication. You use it and log in. So it's either you're using the default page which I showed, or Visual Force page, or you're using the configurable self-registration page. These are all Apex level, and that is why I mentioned them as such here. That this is the first page. So I mentioned them as such that passwordless login uses that, so you don't need to put your password in any of those fields. And funny enough, not even funny enough, seriously, this is also exam question. They get to ask which fields can be authenticated. They'll put one or two things that's not there. So it's either any of these names, last, first, user, or nickname, mobile, and email. Anything out of this is the wrong answer, or should I say correct answer based on what you have been asked. So these are what you use for authentication, for user authentication when they want to self-register. It's an exam question. Then we're moving back on. Login discovery, which I showed, it's also coding. So with Apex handler. identity verification for customer, community plus, partner, and or external identity license profile. So this is what I was showing you. So this is how you identify or authenticate a user, and it can happen on all these licensed users. So basically, everybody trying to log into Salesforce should authenticate. This is like all the whole licenses. Then for session settings, these are definitely set up in profiles, and you know how to do that as admin. You set up sessions on profiles. Okay, so I then got some Salesforce official documentation on that to show what is happening, and this is what it says about the same thing I think I've been explaining. So this is the default. So when self-registration use case, there are many options. So when you navigate to where I showed you in login registration tab via workspace, under registration page, you can select allow external users to log in. Of course, if you have not activated your website, it's going to default to the default page. But if you have, then you can have the other options. Then self-registration, deciding registration page type. So this is what can also allow you to decide registration page type. So reading this, it gives you the official and most correct information as regards to how to decide which page type to use. So two options, default or visual first page. So both of these options are used to assign a visual first page to your self-registration process. So you mean having that default selected or deselected, you can assign a visual first page, which is like coding happening. So as example, when we haven't selected this option, of course, code takes place automatically. This is recommended typically only if you have a Salesforce task force community, Visual Force community, or already have invested in the development of custom Visual Force page. We recommend using this or this for Lightning communities. And of course, we're using Lightning communities, so we are using this out of the box functionality. But this is Salesforce and this is community. As I see, it's actually it's leaning more towards coding people, developers. They will enjoy it more, or web designers or UI designers or whatever. So it's best for them. But we can manipulate and make do with out of the box functionality. So it's also good for us to an extent. So of course, I simply use what we have to build all we have done. With this, we can have our registration page, have our login page, manipulate it as much as we want, and that's it. Okay, I think why that my field set didn't work, we haven't even completed building it or saving it. So by the time you select what you want, choose what you want, you can show it off. Except I know there are some restrictions or limitations because of course it's out of the box and you can only make do with what you have. You cannot do what you cannot do. So next is a self-registration experience builder page, which is what we did, and it's actually a standard component. It's called self-registration. No coding required. That's the feature. We've looked at this. When people then there's the custom component. Actually, this has to be activated somewhere in the code before it can even show up as a component in our builder. Right now, I'm sure it won't show up. If I go to self-register, it won't show up. Let me check. Experience builder, go to components and go to self-registration identity. Is this, let me see something. It's not even, I can't do anything with it because I don't have the code. I don't have the code activated. Okay. So self-registration. Well, I already have this is I'm already on self-registration login, so I'm just trying to duplicate it. No need. Let me just close up this login form. So this is self-registration actually with a component called self-registration built by Aura component. This is an Aura component built. So this component is created on your org automatically when you enable communities. Oh, not mind me. So let's read what's on the written there. So support the same features as the standard component. So you see it's as good as this. Consider copying the code into a new component and leaving self-register.cmp without modification or reference. And this is what I was talking about. I know they have to copy something. So you should consider copying it and put in a different one. So there's a demo because at the end of the day, they don't want people or bots to be logging in, doing self-registration. So there should be like this reCAPTCHA. It's also implemented. That's the best way. So if you're not using this Salesforce or you want to use coding, it's best to put reCAPTCHA so that it will be checking to make sure it's a real human being that is registering. Then configurable self-registration page, which is what we went. Well, let's see what this one says. So best when you want to support passwordless login, which I mentioned, allows you to register the two-factor verification method out of box. So consider this option when you want to verify the email address or mobile number with the verification code before the user is created. So support passwordless login for future user logins using the login page type, login discovery page. So when we choose login discovery page, that's when we can use that too. Outside of this use case, using the experience builder page is probably the best option. So they're not telling us our out of the box is probably the best option. So we're happy to stick to that too. So SMS support is an add-on license. Talk to your account executive. Of course, when SMS comes into play, you will have to pay. Okay, this is the verification method. So let me go back and see the verification method. That's what I'm talking about SMS. So right now it's only email. Let's look at the org again. Okay, you see, so email, text message. So when you select email, I think that's free. But when you select SMS, text message, then it's to verify. That's where you want the code to be sent for this. Then you select any of these. Email should be free, while SMS you have to pay, of course, data services. Then login flow, very important. So add a screen flow to your user login process, build post authentication process to match your business processes. I want users to accept terms and service before logging in. Create the screen flow first setup process automation. The link flow to then link the flow to the community user profile under setup identity login flows. So there are other use cases you can use to collect additional demographics on additional login or for two-factor login verification. So first of all, you need to build the flow. And as I mentioned, this flow would have to definitely be assigned to profile. It's profile based. So if we go to, let's imagine we build the flow, then we'll go to login flows. You see there's something. After building the flows, you go to login flows. Then you click on new. And you select that flow you've built. You see that flow of Visual Force, select flow, type the name of the flow, then select that flow you've built. I have not built the flow, but let's imagine this was the flow I built. You start to select a license. Let's say customer community. Where's Mr. Partner First Class? Let's say partner community, then select a profile. Because how this flow works is when the person, anybody assigned to this license and this profile. Sorry, please, 1 second. My nose is clogged. Oh, thank you. So when anybody that's assigned to this profile logs in, the flow runs. That's how the flow works. It's being called by this user license and profile. So most times, what happens is when you log into some community, you see accept terms and conditions. This is login flow working. I'm sure most of you must have seen it. This is how it is built by this login flow. So when they log in with this user profile or license, then whatever it is you built, if it's a screen flow, it will show up. And of course, we can add flow components to our go to home, go to components and type flow. So we can select the flow or even a pause flow and drop it into. Oh no, sorry. We don't have to do that. All we need to do is here at the back end. This one I'm talking about is maybe if we build something that needs to, example, they want them to collect, to fill a form or something, you can do that. But what we're talking about, this back end covers it. When you build that flow attach it to their username and password, to their license and profile, and attach the flow and save. It should work. So use your login flow to introduce business flow. So depending on what your business process is. And of course, if you want users to log in and accept terms and conditions, that's a process. So such as to prompt for device activation, acceptance of service, or collect information about the user after users complete the login flow that are logged in. Choose the source that, so you see, this flow kind of acts like, that's why I'm saying that's what I was trying to show won't work. You're not even logged in yet until you complete this flow, then that's when you are logged in. But what I was trying to show is when you are logged in and then you can see flow. So that is two different things, but it's just still flow related. So you know there's actually, though we'll take a quick look at like the components there. So this is what this does, and that is what this does. So it can do other things like collect information or do two-factor authentication, but most importantly, it does is business process post authentication. Let's move on, please. Social sign-on. This is we already looked at how you can set up any of these. So what is this document saying? We can do any of these and two key steps to try it out. Navigate to setup, auth, we did that, create a new authentication, provider using the proper provider type for your use case. So okay, now back in your community administration workspace, which we did, we'll select that. So once you create that at the back end, it comes up. See, as we created Google, it came out. That's when we can tick it. And then when you add that component to the page, then it definitely says Google. But if I had Facebook and Google, it will ask me to select which one. But because I only have one, so it automatically just chose it. There's also a tray on it, so that's people asking for documentation. All these things are all online. There's nothing new I brought here, except I wouldn't say new, except some of the things I wrote on my hands are actually my notes. The things that are not picture are my notes I just rewrote here. These are the notes I use for my exam. So some things might be a bit stale. That's why whenever I write some things, I go up to check what is recent and I get them back. So I'm doing a combination of both my personal notes and what is out there. Example, as I was, this is my notes. So I'm even happy I've written it out now, so I don't have to even, and I can easily go online on my computer and see it as it is. So login, customization, branding. We've done a lot, but we'll just quickly go over and keep doing one or two things. So done in workspace, login and registration. You can customize logo, background color, customer footer, content. On the right side of the page, so this is for customizing and also URL for background image. Dynamic background can be added. Login and logout page URL can be customized, and then password pages. So we are talking about customizing your login page. So if we go right now and come here, we'll look at builder page, which I showed you before, login page. This is how our login page looks. It's all Salesforce, but you can always and you can't do anything. This is the page. You can't do anything on this page. Nothing you can do on this page. Nothing. Nothing you can do on this page. I only added this one. We can't do anything modification on this much. Except you're adding a new component. For you to modify this page, like if I want to change this logo, I can't change this logo. So where that happens is the same place we were. So up here. So you see, you can choose your logo. You can choose, do you want your logo type to be file or do you want it to be linked to a URL? If you have a bigger company, so upload a file or enter a URL to show the site's logo on the login and related pages. You can choose. Then you can also choose your background color. You see right now, the background color we have is this and the login button is this. So you can choose right frame. So URL for content displayed on an iframe. This is all coding, but I don't bother about this, but just for you to know. You can also write what you want to be your footer. Right now it's salesforce.com, but most times people want it to be what their company is using. So this is your page setup, Visual Force page, or we can use this, which I think is a login. That's the login page should be what should be here now. Why is it not showing itself? A login, yes. So we're using our experience page login. Allow employees to log in directly to an experience cloud site. So some people might not want the employees to log in, so you can block them from here. And so login, logout page, when people log in and then they finish doing what they're doing, they log out. If you don't specify where they will land, they will maybe remain on the same login page. I think that's where they will land again. So if you enter this or users return to the login page, yeah, as I said. So if you don't specify where you want users to land after they log out, they will land back on the login page. So as my slide is saying, all that you can choose background image, put login and logout, and also do password pages that we've looked into. Next is community email capability. So email related setup is configured in Workspace. Sender information can be set, email templates can be set, email templates can be customized and branded. In Salesforce, email can be sent to a new user, this is optional. Logo and or footer can be set or use Salesforce default. Welcome email is valid for 6 months. Email are only sent if the committee is in active status. Let me copy this and paste on the chart. This is also a documentation. If you get chance, take a look at it. Be careful with this thing I wrote. I wrote welcome email is valid for 6 months. I think that's actually just the maximum, because if you go to email, so this is where those ones are done. There's a lot you can do here. You can select what kind of template you want, or you can build your template. Of course, you can customize it according to your company. You can put a logo. This is with Chatter. Let me not go there yet. Then if I go to my all site, or digital experience, no, sorry, digital experience settings. So as I mentioned, 6 months. So actually the link expire, you can now select how you want your link to expire on emails. Set the active time for links to the site in welcome email messages. Don't forget, whatever you do here affects all your communities. Right now, this is set that anybody receiving emails from my community, it will valid for 7 days. So the highest day is 180. I guess that's why my write-up says 6 months. But that is not the highest. So you can have 1 day, 7 days, or 180 days. So just so that we're guided. I think this is even an exam question, depending on how they ask it. 1 day, 7, and 180. So 1 day, 1 week, and 6 months. With regards to branding, this is I also had this on my note. This is where I had to build it out. It goes from themes to color to fonts to image to brand set. So this is the real bread and butter of our front end of our experience builder, where we'll now design. So if you are a better designer, it helps you, but there's nothing much to do here. It's just put the themes, arrange the color, fonts, put the images you want, and then brand set. Let's keep going because then we can go back to site so we can get the information. So I said to bring more of I had my write-up. Let's just so brand themes. So community templates that comes with many pre-configured themes. A new theme can be selected when branding a community. Pre-built theme. So Salesforce has its pre-built themes that we can select. But whenever we launch a community, it automatically comes with a theme, but we can always change it. So there's a Stella, Webster, Jepson, Citizen. I didn't even read all this, but it's interesting too. So preview themes comes with with every template. They let you style your site with clicks, not code. Like colors, so it's all the same thing that it does. There's Stella, Webster. So it means you can also choose what you want based on what you think you might. I love using this Jepson. Like they say, it's a contemporary theme designed to display the key message of your digital space and promote specific content and actions. So let's go and look at these themes in our site. Don't forget where we can find this in Builder. You go to Builder, Team is here. So there's the component, teams, page structure, and settings. Team is here. And when you enter team, that's where you can see you can change your team. Right now we are on customer service. Let's say customer service templates. Let's change team and see what the team will have. So it automatically gave us this customer service team, which I think is because it automatically chooses what might be best for you. So it is, but we can actually change it. I think if it was partner normally chooses the partner team. But right now it gave us the customer team. As I said, I've used Jepson before, so there's no need trying to change. Let's just stick to what we have. But just know that you come here, you change your team. So you give a new team a try and see how it changes your site. You won't lose content and you can change teams anytime. So here is where we change our team based on the look and feel that we want to give our community. So branding. So returning to my write-up that has to do with our step. So team, I showed you about team. Then I'm going to color. Colors for different use can be configured. We can upload an image and the color set will be configured based on the image. So that's why I was waiting. I didn't. So you can go to color. You see, there's text color. Sorry, let me be on main page so we can be seeing things well. Page, home. So now we're on home page. If we go back to themes, you can see text color, detailed text color, action color. If you see this is our text color, that's how our text is this color. Detailed text color when you have details inside it. Action color, the things that can give us link to action color. Then border color, you see it on the borders. Then page background color is white. Overlay color is also white. So there's also navigation colors. Then there's login page color. You can also, if you don't know colors to use, you can also generate your color from a library. Like just imagine, take a look at this color we have now. So let me upload an image. Yesterday I downloaded this. I did a logo. Open. So I want this to now load color from our logo. You see? So it has loaded from our logo and made it this simple. So it looks all darkish though, but then it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you. So now we generated our color from this. It's an exam question. So that's another way to generate color. You can generate color from an image. So that's why I did that. But if you know your color for your company, maybe you're working with the marketing team, you should work together and select the right colors for your website. And next will be font and image. Fonts can be configured and image can be uploaded for company logo and login page background. So let's go ahead with that. So go to image. There's no company logo, but luckily we have them now. Let's upload that. Now we're uploading our company logo. It will show on our system now. See, now we have a company logo. If we have header image, you can do that, but I didn't get header image. This is new. This is update because before you didn't have this and you didn't have this here. You only had this login background. Then since we updated this here, let's go to the back end. Go to our login registration. Also changes our Salesforce and make it our header. Hope it's the right size. I don't know. Let's try. It's not the right size, so I have to make it 250 by 125 minimum and maximum. So let's leave that. So you have to go and cut. It's not important, but Now we have our logo. Let's preview. See how our website is looking so far. It could be better, but it's not important. Let's just keep moving. So the next slide we're going is the official documentation. So this is the builder. How many places can branding be applied that impact look and feel? So to impact look and feel, we are on our builder. These are the places that can happen on branding editor, CSS editor, head markup, CMS Connect, team layout, page layout, component level branding. We're talking about this branding. CSS is for coding people, head markup, the same thing. CMS Connect, we'll look at that tomorrow. Team layout, if you can also, that we're looking at teams, page layout, that means when you've done it at your back end, then what people will see in front, example for knowledge documents or articles. Then component level branding, of course, with any component you have, you can brand. And let's do one quick branding with a component level 2. I think I'm trying to look for, what is it called again? I'm trying to remember the name, headline company. Yeah, let's try if that will work. So go back and back to builder, go to component, call it headline. Okay, so there's headline. So I can actually put, oh, there's already a headline component. So there's headline. So this is also a component. So you can say welcome. I hope I can get this. I'm trying to, I'm not writing this on my own. Let's copy it and place. First, is that correct? I beg, quickly. Salesforce, Salesforce, first name, first name. Where is it? I had this somewhere, but it should work. I don't think I get it. First name. I thought I wrote it well. Preview. Well, just so you have idea, you should be able to put so that when someone comes into the website, you can see. I know it works well, as for example, in rich text or HTML. I thought it should work here. I said this is not correct. So when someone logs into the website, you can see the person's name. That's the idea. That's the idea, though. I know if I am to maybe look well, and so I will get it done. But that's just the idea I'm trying to. So based on component level, you can add different components to make your work good. Back to the slide. So community branding. So can I build a pixel perfect community? If you go 100% custom with Lightning components, yes. So of course, if you like going to design and code, yes. If it's a mix of standard and custom component, we can only do to an extent. There are a few limitations to understand. Lots of standard components still don't use SLDS. This means if we team based on SLDS, some standard components may not inherit styles. It may only inherit what's possible in branding editor. So these are the limitations. Overriding standard components through CSS may break during future releases. Of course, when you code, Salesforce keep updating things. So once they update something and whatever you built is no longer up to date, or is they've maybe have improved what you've built to be broken. So that's one thing with coding. You have to code again and keep coding. Majority of standard components in community builder cannot be encapsulated as part of a custom component. This will limit the container options to only what is available in builder. So that just says it for you, and that's why I put the documentation so you see what we can do and what we cannot do. But this is a guiding principle. know your brand. So as I mentioned, in this situation, you have to work with your sales, marketing, and your IT team. It's not what you do alone. Do you have an enterprise style guide to follow? Of course. Do you have a dedicated front? I didn't even read this, but all I see is what I just breaking down. So have your team, IT, marketing, that is the summary of all this. So understand the skill set required, and then Lightning components can live everywhere. Understand the scope of branding. Is it for every container? Is it for specific community, or is it only for internal? So these are things to consider when branding. So these are branding options, which I've showed you. We're working with teams. We've shown how we can do with teams and what we can do with teams, which is we can apply color, manage our logo, apply fonts, manage team options, completely point and click. But if you're using CSS editor, you can hand place but you should avoid it for large projects. Note, changes made in branding editor or CSS editor will be applicable only for single community where the changes are applied. Of course, this is what I mentioned on the first day of the lecture. Whatever you are doing on your community is specific to that community. But whatever you are doing on the back end setting will apply to all of them. So don't think wasting time on one community will affect the rest. It doesn't affect. So these are the branding options. So there's team layout, and these are also moderate options, moderate development or reusable multiple communities. So I guess this, if you build on this, you can reuse it. Maybe you have some visual first pages you created. Maybe you can actually reuse that in community. That one is true though. Branding sets. I think before did I talk? Okay, sets. So this is used to show different teams to branding to different groups of audiences dynamically. A default branding set is set automatically. So whenever when we launch our community, it's a default branding set is set automatically. So branding set allow you to apply a unique branding experience to your audiences. For example, all users in a specific zip code. All settings in the branding UI will apply to the specific set. This includes colors, images, fonts, login branding. So branding set is about audience again. We'll talk about audience in a bit. So, but quickly, let me show you where that is. So if we go to our teams again, back here, and down here, manage branding sets. So right now we are using customer service branding sets. There is no assignment because this is default and it's assigned to everybody. You see, no assignment. So the default is assigned to everybody. So now we can create new branding sets. We can call it a name. Let's call it customer brand and save. This is just what we have now. You see, this one has logo, this one doesn't have logo. So maybe you want when different people come in here to see different color, to see different logo or whatever. So it's the same thing we have here, but now we can create it for different people. And then, but after creating it, the main thing is that you need to assign it. You know, as I say right now, this is our default. This is our default. I just created this new one. After creating it, doing it how we like, changing the colors, changing the fonts, quickly. I didn't even show you the font. This is fonts. You can select font, primary font, header font, test case. If you don't have the fonts, you can use a custom font. This is what I'm working on maybe next week or so in my office because the font we want is not there, so they have to give me a custom font. There's a process to this. I'm also still in about so you can actually add a custom font because of course everything will say so there's a limitation. So this is fonts. But back to our branding sets. I just created a new branding set which you can use and put new logo, new colors, new font, new everything. But when you're done, you have to assign it to those people that you want them to see, to an audience. Right now, I don't have an audience. We'll get to that in a bit. I won't even create it, but to just get to it. So this is what you will do with the branding set. You can change the color, image, font, or login branding, which I just mentioned. Next is assigning audience, which I say we'll get in a bit. So The audience can be created at the time of assigning audience. You see that branding example I created. So when you create, then you assign audience to it because you are creating this because you want something extra for different kind of audience to view. Audience can be set based on, this is a definite exam question, like as in, I wouldn't say exam question, but it's a big understanding how the audience can be set. So it's by location, permission set, profile, user attribute, and object fields, within 4 related objects to the user record. I actually thought it's 5 level, but I'm seeing 4 related objects to the user record. I guess maybe the first one you are in is counted as 1, then you can relate down to 4. So these are the ways you can assign your audience. You assign the audience based on where they are, or what permission set do they have, or what profile is that object, or what user attribute is that object, or what fields do you want that sorry, I'm saying object. I mean the people. You're talking about like audience. Audience is what I mean. Was what I meant. Location of the audience, permission set for the audience, profile the audience belong to, user attributes of that object of that audience, or object fields of that you want the audience to see. And for object field, you can relate down to 4. Let's quickly take a look. So now we've created this one. I want to now assign it to an audience. Assign audience. So we don't have any audience. Now to create audience, new audience. Let's say example, what only our users in California. So you can call it California audience. So this is, what does this mean? This is by location. I'm trying to do it by location. You can also select conditions, right? Just the way we see it in Formula or Salesforce. So all conditions are met. Or if it is plenty conditions you're going to put, you put custom logic. But right now, let me just use one condition. So I'm going to use location. So you see those things they counted: location, permission set, profile, or user. So I'll use this as an example. Well, not that we're gonna also won't be going front and back on this. Because I said California, imagine I said location equals to. So now I use location. I have to now select what's up. The use location, ask yourself, okay, we can use location, of course, location in Salesforce, you need to set up address and everything and have country and all this populated. So maybe it's not the best example to use. Let's use what do we have here again? Permission set and profile. Let's use sales audience. Of course, that means profiles. So once anybody with customer, I thought we have sales. Thought we'll have sales standard. Okay, let's just assign. Okay, that we'll only get that when we do cloning. Let's assign it to standard user, and we're now assuming that our standard users are salespeople. We can actually assign this to more profiles, like for more things. We can select one more. You see, then we can add even another condition, but we're not doing that just to show you. Selecting user. Then we can drill down again. What kind of user? Say contact. And then what's the relationship? Let's say birth date. Less is greater than. Can put date. So you see, just normal Salesforce. So these are like us trying to constrain who should have access to this branding set. Okay, let's say we want this to be seen by people born as early as or greater than from 1990, 20th June. I hope this is not what his birthday here. All right, so save and assign. Not that we did it, just let's just imagine. So now we have assigned this branding to those people that meet this condition. So if we go to this branding set now, okay, how do I now look at it? I've created it, I've assigned it. Okay, no, I've not assigned it to. Yeah, I've assigned it. Sales audience unassigned. So it's assigned, it's done, assigned. So sales. We can do it from here, we can also do it. So done. close. So anytime anybody with that condition logs in, he will see, the person will see only that the person will see only that branded set, not this page. You will see that branded set without logo, without the color that we selected. So that is how that thing works. And that is how we assign users. Very important. All right. Personalization in community. So audience targeting. This is what we're just explaining. So, but this is how we target the audience by all these conditions. Another is page variation. Criteria-based page visibility lets you create different versions of your page and make those variations available to specific audiences and groups. Branding sets. This is what we've already done. So we'll continue to look at a few, but let's talk about page variation. So just the way we went to themes, and on themes here, we were able to if we go to themes, we're able to build and select a different page variation, a branding set that can be assigned this whole theme. So branding set have to do with theme, whereas page variation has to do with pages. There are so many pages. I think we'll look at that in a bit. Example, let's go to this home. Right now we are in home and we are in one page variation. Like I said, there's no variation. But we can, when we go to this setting, go to page setting, you see there's something called page variation. Just the way we have that theme and branding set for different people based on those conditions. That condition you see me talking about, those 4 conditions, location, permission set, user, and profile, is for audience assignments. So we can choose branding sets for different teams, and we can choose different pages for different people too. So you see how it works. Different team for different people, you can do that. Different page, the same page we have, but we can create different variations of it. That's what it means by page variation. Example, now we're on home page. We can click on page variation. Of course, this is default. We can create a new page variation, new blank page, and then this is a new one. Like I love to use this. It's a flexible layout. It allows you to build it your own way. You can create it. When you create it, let's just imagine we're creating it. Flex customer and create. So now we have created this page variation. It's creating it to come empty. It's actually a home. If you go to home, it has created. Let me show you guys. This is where I'm home. That is bringing up page variation. Now I have home and I have flex customer, which it created. These are all home page, but now I've created a new variation. You can see it's empty. It's empty. There's nothing here. I have to start building it because I built a flexible one. So what happens is when I go back to home here, I go to page settings. Now I'm on page variation. Look at the new, it's unpublished. I haven't published this page, so it's not active yet. So I can go down here and assign who do I want. Meanwhile, it's not default because I have my home is my default page. For me to want people to see this page, I have to assign it to people. Don't forget, I've already created one audience. So I can simply assign this page to sales audience, which I've created with those conditions. Or I can create more audiences, as many audiences as I want, based on those audience creation reason. So you can see we can assign these sales guys to this page variation and also assign them to a team. So this is now making your community very diverse, very dynamic, very unique. Sorry, 1 second, please. So with regards to user experience, everybody coming to your website or to your community would have different experience based on where they learn. And of course, you cannot target everybody to learn on what they want to see. So that is all about this page variation and page variation, audience assignment, and branding set. So that is how that works. I hope that makes sense. So let me check back with you. Any question on this, please? None. Let's move on so that maybe you can ask at the end if there's more time. I hope there should be time. So that is where am I? Okay. So navigation setup. Navigation menu is a static component added on all communities pages. Up to 20 items can be added into a menu. You can decide the number to show. You can choose how you want the items aligned. You can personalize your menu to different audience. I hope this makes sense. So this is navigation menu. The navigation menu component extends your site navigation beyond navigational topics. Navigation menu items can include Salesforce object topics, pages in your site, your URLs, to external sites and menu labels. Menu labels are parent headings under which you can next other menu items. You can also enable the app launcher to make it. So it's just all it can do. The major thing, which is for my notes, is this one. It is a static component, which means it runs across or any page you go, you will see it. It's simple. I just created this new page called Flex. Let me close this. You see, our navigation menu is there. It's everywhere and on all pages. Any page you go, you have navigation menu on it. So you can also create. This is default. You can actually create. So you can add menu. First of all, let's go to. You can actually create new navigation menu, but that is done by. I think you can do it from here. Navigation menu. Yes, add navigation menu. You can create a new one. Call it our customer nav menu. Sorry, nav menu. Then you can now start adding menu. As the team mentioned, you can add events. You can add external. I don't want to do that because there's no time for that. You can add external. Maybe we can do this external. Let's call it Google. And so you have to put it google.com. We can also add menu. We can also add menu label. This means parents. Let me just call it parents. So you understand what I mean. Then you can add a new one. Because I have parent, now it means a parent can have child. This is how you have sub under. So if I call it Yahoo, of course I want this to be a site, external site page. External yeah, so yahoo.com. Then let me add another menu and call it I want a Salesforce object. I want access to account. Call it account. One more menu. Let's call this site page. Did I create any site page? Then you will see it. You see all this. So these are all the pages we have that you want. So let's call this what should I select here? I didn't create any because I haven't launched the other home, but it doesn't matter. So let's just call this let's call it search. And save. And one more thing, when you're creating pages, you have option to make it publicly available or put a picture on it too. If you can remember, I showed you something that looks like a tree on how this access works. That is what I was explaining that day. Please replace the parameter with your place for that. Let me remove this search, but I think it's asking me what I don't know. I don't think I have time for that. No. Okay. So now let me make it default. This is default. So let me select what I want. So when I go to this, I want this now, not that one. I want this. I created, and I have to publish it. So now when we go to home, oh, I know what's happening. Okay. When you go to home, you can see our menu now is taking place, is showing. If I go to preview, you can click on home, Google. Then if you click on drop down, you see Yahoo. And click on Google. But there's something I didn't do. I'm supposed to like choose where do I want it. Let me go to back to video. Example, this Google, this Google will ask me, do I want it to show, I go to edit, it will ask me, do I want it to show open link in the same tab or outside? So I don't want it to open in the same tab. So when I click it, it will take me away. That's so if I click this one, it will take me inside it. So save menu. So you see, now I've changed, or should I say I've added to this. Oh, one more thing I need to add is important since we're using that. So let me add another menu and add our topic. Site page, I think that's a site page. And it's called topic. Is it called topic detail? Oh, I thought that was just a topic. 1 second, please. Let me see what was here. Default, edit. Topic is what? Oh, navigation topic. Topics, okay. So if we go back to what I'm creating now, edit and add. So it's a navigation topic and call it topic. So save and publish. So that's it. Now we have our navigation menu, which is static. It runs through the pages. We can add different things. Now we can see our topic here. We can see our search account, even the parents I created. If I click on Yahoo, it should take me away. Okay, because it's not taking me because I'm still in, or is it loading? What's happening? It's supposed to, okay, home is working. Google, why this guy is not working? Google.com. It's loading, but it's not taking me out. So it's working now. Okay, this account. I guess the external one is not working for now for some reason. So search, I can search, I can go around this one. So that's it. That's what it does. I think I just gave you a brief explanation. Oh, one more thing too, very important. Go back to Builder. The same way we can personalize, that means we can also assign this to an audience. So which one do you want to assign to an audience? So this is customer navigation menu is default. If you select audience, we can assign this to our default navigation because this guy is already default. We can't assign it. Everybody sees it. They said it was not default. So you see how it works. Members who aren't included in any of the other audiences. So that is, I didn't do any assignment. So the point is you can also assign this to the people you want, the audience you want. We can hide app launcher. You see this app launcher. If you click on this, it will disappear. It's no longer there. If you click on it, it will come back. We can replace home text with icon. Home is home. Or if you click on this, it will replace with the home building. And there's something I'm not seeing here. I don't know if because of this theme I'm using. I should be able to select up to 20. I think because of the theme. Like we can have up to 20. I guess because it's not up to that. We can have up to 20 because it's there on my right top. We can have up to, where's my right top first? We can have up to 20 items. So it's maximum of 20. So that's it about navigation menu. Experience builder setting. Of course, navigation menu can be added to navigational in navigational menu and optional may be visible to the public, which I showed. Items can be reordered. Yeah, you can. The way I was adding those items, You can also reorder them. If you go to edit again, let me move back this thing to the front. So yeah, so it's front save. It comes to the front. So you can, these items can be reordered. So changes must be saved for inactive communities and published for active communities. Exam question, definitely. So whenever you make changes, you must have to save it for inactive communities and publish it for active communities. So that's where you save. So you can add community page, event, external. I just did all this. So tabs for Visualforce community. Users must have access to the selected tabs in order to have visibility. This is for when you're using these tabs for Visualforce community templates. So you must have to have those people to see those. For them to see the tabs, they must have access. Page. So this is what we have been talking about. So many pages. This page, I created a flex page. So selected from Experience Builder. Community pages are the essential blocks of the community, so it's very important. So there are two types of pages: the standard or object pages. So you can add components to pages. They're standard and also custom components, and they can be configured in properties. You can configure their properties. You can also define page visibility. Of course, this is by page variation, which I showed, which you can do by assigning audiences to them. By is dynamically the audience will control whatever it is. So quickly looking at this. So when we come to this first, this is list, this is page. So all these are pages. These are all the pages we have. Home. And when you go here, that's where you can go to your property and then go to set. You can change, create a variation of it, make it change the URL or make it visible or not visible. Like you can do a lot of this. So these are the pages we have: case, dashboards, files, generic. What's under this? So record detail, record list. So everything about community is pages. All this we're all talking about is all centered around pages. All the branding will be reflected on pages. You assign pages. You put all the components, all these components we're talking about here, all the components here are going on pages. So pages are, as they said, the building blocks of our community. Very important. The components, finally, is what I was also talking about as regards to you can get it from App Exchange, you can develop it. So there's custom and there's standard components, and there's a lot of different ones. We'll be showing you different types of components, and of course, components live on pages. And these are our components that they live on pages. So depending on what you want to do, you select the right components and you put it on the page and it will do its job. Just give you a rough explanation on that, but that is just what it is. Just the way we have components in our backend for those that did app builder, and the same component. Well, this is for communities. Then these are the common components. You have the support component, the case deflection, and the contact support form and record page components. And these are like common components. So that's it for today. And I'm actually ready to answer any questions, if any. And I'm all ears. And thank you for listening for me this evening, even though on my nose everything is all clogged up. I'm not feeling too well, but I'm happy I'm doing this. Any questions, please?
Can you please show how you did the parent and child again on the navigational menu?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's in the first time I watched someone do it, I didn't know what did I
tried it too. I didn't get it. So yeah.
I tried. I'm like, what is happening here? So you go to your navigation, edit menu. Let's create a new one. So you add menu. What do we call it? Well, it doesn't matter. So let's leave it as new menu item. You have to select the type. It has to be a level. Then you save that level. But I won't do that. So let's imagine I won't save the level. So but now let's imagine I'll make this actually I'll make this a grandparent. That's what I will do now. Will it work? This is my first time trying this. I hope it works. So I can take this up for the order. I can bring this in here. So you have to move. As long as you made that thing a menu label, then you can start moving things under it. So now I don't know if I can move a menu label under a menu label. This is my first time to try that. So obviously it doesn't work. But let me delete it. So once I've created the parent, it's a menu label. It's nothing, just called menu label. Now you can move things under it. So let's create a new one. Call it event. Let's use the event as it is. Now we can move this under Yahoo because it is not a label. So that one works. But my experiment now didn't work and I'm disappointed, but it's okay. We'll learn every day. So a menu label cannot go under a menu label.
Okay.
So you can add. So has it worked for you now?
I will try it again. But I understand it now. I didn't know I was supposed to drag it. Okay.
Yeah, and that parent has to be a menu label for you to drag those on.
Okay.
Save.
Thank you.
Any more questions, please?
Hi, Obi.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you think about sharing your slide with us?
Yeah, I thought about it. It's still not ready, actually. So I told you I've had a very crampy weekend, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is tomorrow for certification prep?
I don't think so. I was told 4 days for the course, and I think maybe a weekend or something for the prep.
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow should be fine. Okay, let's take a quick look at something, which I think I did before. So, but no, there's no time for this. Tomorrow we'll look at this. So let's call it a night, guys, please. But I think we're making progress. Even I haven't highlighted what we did today. Some things we did today. So obviously we've covered a lot without knowing. And by tomorrow we'll finish up. So tomorrow, see you guys tomorrow if there's no more questions.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Good night.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you.